I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful
Okay, hey,
day.
welcome to another episode of Mr. Willis's Classroom. Today we're outside and we will be planting. We have three things we're going to plant. We're going to plant a flower. This flower right here is called a portulaca. Portulacas are very, very beautiful. They will spread out and they will flower. Notice this one right here has a pink flower. We will be planting a tomato plant, and we will also be planting a pepper plant. Okay, but before we get started, the question of the day. The question of the day is, what do these three things have in common? Roma, Bella Rosa, and celebrity. If you guessed tomatoes, you are correct. Celebrity is my mother's favorite. We also have right here, this is the one I'm going to try to plant in my garden right now. It's called a Bella Rosa. The guy at Stutzman's greenhouse said it was fantastic. But before we go to the garden, we're going to go ahead and we are going to plant one of the flowers that you would have received the other day. The portulaca is one of the versions. There are two different versions, but I chose to do the portulaca. I have a pot right here. It's ready to go. You might take your soil and you might stir it up a little bit. Make a little pocket in there. So when I'm saying make a little pocket, it's going to look like this. The soil itself is fairly loose. Then I'm going to take the portulaca and I'm going to squeeze it very gently. Squeeze the outsides until it releases, because you don't want to damage the root system. And then you're going to go ahead and put it in just like that. Tamp it down a little bit and then kind of push the ground in around like this, and there you have a beautiful potted portulaca. Okay, now a very important thing to do when you are transplanting your plants is to take some Miracle-Gro. Miracle-Gro is an all-purpose plant food. Okay, I like to take one. Get in there, roughly like that, not quite full, about 3/4 of the way full. Throw it in the bottom, take your water, turn it on, kind of swirl it around a little bit, fill it up. So you're going to use about 3/4 of one scoop per roughly 1 gallon. Now this was my wife's Mother's Day present from last year, and it got broke, but instead of throwing it away, we decided it would be a cool thing to use in the garden and repurpose it. We hate throwing stuff away. And then just go ahead and pour in a little bit of that Miracle-Gro, and it will do wonders for your plants. Now on my garden, I'm going to do the same thing. So let's go ahead and let's take out our two signs. Tell us what we have. In our garden, we're going to be planting a Bella Rosa tomato and then a habanero, which is a very hot pepper. One thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and cut these, and I'll show you why later. Okay, so I'm going to cut them both like that. Okay, now before we go to the garden, let me show you one thing that my wife had done. Right here, you know, she took this pot and she planted 3 different types of plants in it. Okay, you have the red, it's going to give it some pop. You have this fern that's going to grow and it's going to give it some height. And then this one is also going to flower out and it's going to give you some different types of colors of flowers too. So this is going to be a beautiful pot. And this is one way that you can actually do some of your potting around your house instead of just putting one plant in there. Okay, let's go to the garden. It's not a big garden, it's just a garden that I've put a lot of compost in, and I've spent some time making it looking good. On this side I have 4 tomato plants. We are going to be planting our 5th one. Now remember, I said we're going to keep our sticker. So something I like to do sorry Bradley, I kind of got right in the way, is I like to take whatever brand I'm making, and this year, this one's a Bella Rosa. There's a Bella Rosa right beside it, and tell me exactly what it is. And we'll go ahead right now, and this is where we're going to plant our habanero. And I always put whichever one is in front on the right side, and so we're going to put the habanero right there. So I have several different hot peppers. I have Anaheims, I have jalapenos. Over here I have, it's kind of like a green hatch chili, but it's not that. It's just a regular big chili, kind of like a hatch chili. And later this year when they produce, I'm going to roast those. So what you can see we've done here is we have dug a hole, okay? So the hole's already dug. I am going to, remember, squeeze very gently. Just don't rip it right out. And then you'll get your plant out and you can see how it comes out, roots and all. And you want to try to make your tomato plant stand as straight as possible. So I'm going to put it in the hole, and then I'm going to take the dirt and I'm going to tamp it down around it. Remember, we're going to try to make it look straight. Okay? And then we're going to make like a little dish. And that will be an area that we will water. And water will stay in this dish later on. You can see in the soil there's leaves and all kinds of things. Then we'll take a little bit of our Miracle-Gro. I'm going to do this once a week for about the first month. And they will take off. And then one thing I like to do is I like to take straw and put it around everything in my garden. The reason we put straw down is, one, it is a moisture, it helps keep the moisture in the soil. But the best thing I think it does is it allows weeds not to grow. And I hate weeding. So always putting a straw bale in your garden is a good thing to do. And just spread it around, work it out a little bit, spread it around. Now, this tomato is going to grow big. Right now it looks very small. Very important thing to have, and you don't have to have one this big. These you can make, and this is like rebar or wire that you would put in cement. But these are really good for tomatoes, or you can use something like this. Peppers, I have smaller ones, or you can even use smaller ones too. Let's go on down to the habanero. Now you can see I've already planted a lot today. But we have our hole dug. Same thing. You want to squeeze it until it just basically just pulls right out. I'm going to put a little soil in there. And then you're going to want to go ahead and tamp it down. Like I said, take some of the soil, make a little dish around. Okay? Make a little dish like that. Awesome. Take your Miracle-Gro. Well, those plants, I'm telling you, they love it. It's going to make them so healthy. And then we will take our straw. I've got most of it laid down. And we'll just kind of sprinkle it around here. Remember, it keeps in moisture. Also keeps out weeds. And that, to me, is really important. Looks like we have almost a little too much. That's okay. It'll sink down. Throw that over there. And then we'll finish off by gently putting this cage, pressing it down, trying to make it level around our pepper plants.
Hey, we just got done planting our pizza garden, and now we're back here in the kitchen, and we're going to make pizzas today. Some of the things that you might need for your pizzas, the bare minimum would be, well, first of all, tortillas, flour. You'll need some spray. You'll need a little marinara sauce or pizza sauce, and cheese. This is mozzarella. Things that you might add, and that we're going to add to our pizzas today. We have pepperoni, hamburger, onion, and green pepper. Things that might be optional. I like to sometimes make my base out of pesto. This is a basil pesto. My wife, she likes canned pineapple chunks sliced up on her pizza. We like black olives too, and black olives is another option. And of course you can finish it off with a little grated Parmesan cheese. Now, let's get to making our pizza. First of all, we have our oven heated at 425. It is ready to go. We are going to take our spray and we are going to coat our pan. All right, set that back to the side. Set the spray to the side. Yes, we are taking tortillas. This is going to be awesome. You're going to love it. Okay, now with our tortillas, we're just going to take a little bit of marinara, spoon it on. We're going to do it on both, like this, and we're going to swirl it around. I put a little too much on that one. Just going to swirl it around. Get a good, nice coat on all of the tortilla. So like that. Okay, I might have put a little much, so I'm just going to take a little bit off. Now it's time for your toppings. If you are a cheese person, pizza person, just put cheese. So we're going to start off, this is the way Briley likes it. He likes to start off with putting a little cheese on. He thinks it makes a nice base, so we're going to do that. So we'll put a little cheese for a base, and we'll do that on both of them. This is going to be our lunch today. Then I'm going to take some hamburger. You want hamburger on yours? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So we're going to put some hamburger. This is already pre-cooked hamburger. Has a little salt and pepper in it. A little garlic powder. Maybe a little onion powder. So we'll go ahead and we'll sprinkle on our hamburger. Okay. Now, I know Briley, he likes onions, so we're going to put some onions on his pizza. Just sprinkle those on like that. I'm going to sprinkle some onions on this one. Look at the filmer, doing a good job. We like green pepper, so we're going to sprinkle some green pepper on them. Usually we'd put some black olives, but we're not going to open the olives today. But you can put whatever you want to put on them. So I'm putting some green pepper. Then we're going to take some cheese, sprinkle that on. So get it all nice and boom. Look at that, that's a perfect amount of cheese. Oh, spilled a little. And then we're going to top it with some pepperoni. 1, 2, 3. Just like to put them around in a circle. You're going to love this pizza recipe. It's going to be like a thin crust pizza. So you can put the pepperonis on. Got one. We have one left over. Right there for my mouth. Now, you're going to take your pizzas, open the oven, slide them in. Remember, we're at 425. We want to set the timer for 9 minutes. And then there we are. All right, our pizzas are done. They've been in there for 9 minutes. See how they got a little crisp to the tortilla? You can cook them for less than that if you want. Then just go ahead and take your pizza cutter, or you could take a knife. You might let them cool for a little bit too. Okay, we'll go this way. Boom. Good deal. We'll get a spatula. Which I don't have one right now. And we'll go ahead and take the pizza. Scoop it up. Oh, come on, get on there. I'm having trouble, but here, and there you go. You have a homemade, quick, and easy pizza that you will enjoy. Remember to do your plant your garden, make your pizza, and answer your ancient Rome questions. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Look forward to seeing you next time.